Here I am, mining away, minding my own business, being a good little boy, just collecting some painite, being nice and sensible, when the pirate orc sidles into party chat and says, "Hey, boy, I need a hand. I'm gonna kidnap a geezer." I'm like, you kidnap loads of geezers, orcs. You kidnap everyone. We're always kidnapping people, holding them ransom, and I always say the same thing: don't kill them. You know, just take it easy. Don't kill them. As long as we don't kill them, we all have a good laugh. Anyway, who do you want to kidnap? And he's like, I want to kidnap this geezer, but there could be trouble because he's well connected. I'm like, how well connected? And he's like totally connected, like fully connected. He's the most connected you could possibly be. This could be trouble, and I need people. I need people to scour the system. Like, what system? Do we know where he is? He's like, he's doing the CG. It's serious. So I'm like, yeah, all right. We'll get a crew together. Who we got? And Orc's like, I'm already ahead of you there. I've got a full crew of people. He's like, I've got the airy polo. Of course, he's got the airy polo. He never goes anywhere without him. He's got Dark Owl, Starro, you know, Big Aussie, obviously me, Pirates Are Us, and Pirates Are Us is bringing a noob along. You know, give him a first time outing and that. And I'm like, what's the plan? And he's like, simples. We sliver into system, all nice and quiet like. We find the geezer, we snatch the geezer, you know, right in front of the eyes of all the people watching. And I'm like, yeah, this is probably going to go wrong, isn't it? I can see it now, it's going to go wrong. Tell you what, just promise me, you do your best, try not to kill him, because if you kill him, we're all Hi, it's 1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One. And that is pretty much a faithful reenactment of how I ended up involved in the plot to kidnap a member of the FDev community management team. Yeah. So someone's doing a live stream on Xbox, the Dark Marauders hear about it, Dark Marauders flood down there en masse, search the system to see if we could find the guy. Now honestly, I thought they were doing something funny and there was some reason why we couldn't instance with the guy, because we had people searching all over. I actually wasn't able to instance at all. I ended up in the instance of the police, so my job became keeping them busy and occupied, which was fine. I had a couple of fun 1v1s with 2 IED members, and I had a cunning plan as to how to keep them away from the station. I wanted them to have to go back to their carrier and not go to the station, but we'll get back into that in a bit. Now, we've successfully kidnapped people in the past, and we've learned some things about kidnapping players that you'll be surprised to hear. In this case, when the people in the live stream saw Commander Pirate Orc, I watched this back like 4 or 5 hours later, because Xbox went down for quite a few hours, and it was the middle of the night and I'm sat watching this, and I must admit, as soon as I saw Pirate Orc turn up, I looked down the side and people were like, they knew what was happening. And when the message come in, it is quite gratifying, even though the message was missed, which I can understand, because when you're live streaming you got a lot going on, but it's a typical noob mistake. We get this quite a lot as pirates and as kidnappers. People never notice the messages. There should be more of an alert when you get a direct message, but all in all, everyone seemed to be aware of what was going down. Now, like I said, we've successfully kidnapped a few people in the past. It's one of our fun things we do. We're pirates, we do PPI insurance, and we kidnap people. With kidnapping people, you always have to kind of find someone who's going to be willing to go along with it and willing to roleplay it out, because obviously they could just menu log and that's it, it's done. There's nothing you can do about that. So you have to kind of pick someone that's going to roleplay it out, have a bit of fun, and see it for what it is, which is a bit of immersive roleplay and playing the part. We've had many people play along with it. We've had a great time doing it. My favourite one was probably the Sagittarius Eye magazine. There was also the one that worried me the most, which was when they kidnapped a fuel rat. But luckily for us, the fuel rat got Stockholm Syndrome and is now the leader of our rum runners, and has been a member of the Dark Marauders for years, which is hilarious because he still goes out with us and doing a bit of fuel ratting. And Pirate Orc, if he now calls for a fuel rat, they either say no or they send an armed escort, which I just love. After all these years, they still don't trust him, and I don't blame them, because he is a snake. I have done many videos warning people of this. But honestly, Pirate Orc did a really good job in tough circumstances of taking out the drives. There was a slight oddity. We'd actually given up at this point. We'd been scouring the system for so long, and Orc had just had a fight with CIA of NF, and he'd gone back to get his cutter to fight CIA. At which point he goes, "Oh, I see him!" and he chased him down. Now none of us could instance with Orc apart from Polo. Polo managed to get into the instance because of the wingman navlock, but he was coming from a different instance. Up until him manually dropping on Orc's wake, all he could see of Orc was his wing beacon, not Orc himself. So we were very worried. Orc's in there on his own, in the wrong ship to be doing this, trying to delicately take drives down. Now, weirdly, I've never seen a chieftain with 4-point defences before, but that's quite tough to take the drives out on, with missiles anyway. So it kind of worked in our favour and kind of didn't, because the ship was really squishy, but the point defences made it quite difficult. And I must admit, I got a bit panicky when I'm hearing numbers like, "Oh, I've got him down to like 12% and his drives are still up," and I'm like, we're so in trouble. we're gonna murder one of FDev live on stream. This is gonna be bad. But luckily Orc did it perfectly. He got the drives taken out. Yes, the guy was on lower health than we like to leave people, and there was only 2 of us in the instance. So normally with the kidnapping situations, we have to flood the instance quickly, because you always have to make sure the guy that's drives are taken out, that you're taking hostage, has a gun on him at all times. And unfortunately the boys didn't quite manage to do that with just the 2 of them. They both got distracted by the wingman. Fair play to the wingman. And I would like to say, for the record, we, the Dark Marauders, did not kill the wingman. At the time, Orc and Polo were still chasing after the target, and the wingman was trying to hook back up with his target. I'm not going to name names, but he may have been asked to submit to chaos. That's all I'm saying. He might have been given a shortcut to the station by someone who likes giving shortcuts to the station. Saw people in the vicinity. I don't know. It would be interesting. I'd love to find out what happened, because we definitely didn't do it. And this wasn't a total Dark Marauder only operation. Pirates of Us, his faction, was in there helping us out, and obviously Polo now is currently an independent trader of his own. He is an independent pirate. So this was a joint operation by a varied amount of pirates across the Xbox platform. If you're wondering what that noise is, that is a cockerel very noisily eating his breakfast. I'm just lucky he's not crowing his head off as well. So this kidnap plot broke down because we didn't have enough people in instance. We had some instancing issues. C'est la vie, happens on Xbox. When we take a commander hostage, we have to make sure they're willing to roleplay it out, because they could just menu log. So we've had instances where we've got as far as kidnapping the person, and they're like, "I'm sorry guys, I've got to go out in a bit, I've got in real life stuff to do." We're like, "Yeah, no problem." We've had instances where things don't go to plan, where people don't have the time, or there's some issue, and it doesn't always work. But if I'd have been sat in front of him in my Rambo with my frags aimed at him, he would not have got his reboot and repair off. That's for damn sure. And if he had, his drives would have been shot out in a moment. But probably I would have killed him, because that many frags, that much range, at that much hull. Yeah, and I'm glad I wasn't there, because the last thing I want to be is responsible for anyone's death live on a stream. It was hilarious, I must admit. Fair play. I want to give a shout out to all of my subscribers that were in that chat on that Twitch thing. I noticed the English gent in there saying the Dark Marauders are pirates. There was a lot of people who understood that You know, if the guys were gankers, they wouldn't have stopped shooting him once his drives had taken out. They wouldn't have sent messages and stuff like that. So it was nice to see that most of the people in the stream understood it was players trying to kidnap someone. And it was great to hear the response and the reaction from the community management team, talking about emergent gameplay. Groups do this sort of thing, he'd heard about it. So that's great. You know, that's what we like to bring to Xbox, is we like to bring fun and entertainment. You know, we don't do piracy for the money. We don't do piracy because it's easy. We do piracy because it's a fun activity and great roleplay. I pirated so many people at the recent Rare Goods CG. It was hilarious, and not one person was upset or salty with me that actually engaged in the piracy. I can't speak for the people who didn't engage in the piracy. You know, the ones that logged, I have no idea whether they enjoyed their interaction or not. I would guess not from the fact they combat logged, but you know, the ones that engaged, the ones that actually role-played it out, the ones that escaped were happy they'd escaped and got the adrenaline rush and the buzz from escaping, and the ones that didn't escape and got pirated weren't that upset they'd lost a little bit of cargo. Because we're not greedy, we're not crazy, we're not asking for hundreds of tons. You know, at the community goal, I was happy to get 4 or 5 tons off each person. That was fine with me, you know. And we were having a lot of fun winging it around doing piracy, and we love to do the kidnappings. The kidnappings are great, and like I say, we've had such a positive response from our kidnapped victims. I swear a couple of them have got Stockholm Syndrome. The only thing I would say is the kidnappings can go on a while. That they can turn into crazy situations, and they are an immense source of entertainment. And I am really sorry that I missed out on getting into the instance and being involved more fully in this one. However, I had a great time keeping the police busy, and one of the things, you know, with IED being in the system is we wanted to keep IED unaware of how many of us were in the system, because if they got like an inkling there was this many pirates in the system, they might have come down here in bigger force to find out what the hell we were up to. So to prevent that, I did not want to kill either of the 2 people that I had 1v1s with. I wanted to keep them alive, because if I did killed them, they would have gone into the station, and if I didn't kill them, they'd end up going back to the carrier that they just brought into system, which I believe is Polo and Orc's carrier that arrived in system. Literally, like, I arrive and Polo and Orc's flying in from the sun. And I was like, why do I get the IED instance? No one else could see them. And I've got to give a shout out to Star Uno, who very cleverly challenged Polo and Orc to a 1v1 in Corvettes, a system over, right as the kidnapping starts, which was just a genius plan. Full distracting the police was in full effect. The best thing we could have done. And like I say, I was really pleased to see, you can see there the English gent saying, those are the Dark Marauders, well-known pirate, Xbox pirate group. So it's great to see. It actually wasn't just us, because there was Dark Marauders, there was Pirates R Us's faction, who's a very small new pirate faction that we're friendly with. Pirates R Us was down there with one of his newbies helping out, and also Polo is an independent pirate these days. He's not actually a member of the Dark Marauders anymore, and may in future set up his own small pirate faction. And it was Polo who was in the best hot pursuit situation, and I've got to say, out of all of the pirates on Xbox, you know, for this to have happened to be involved in this, Polo and Orc are the 2 most famous pirates on Xbox. They just are. They've pirated for the Dark Marauders for years, apart from a small excursion to go off and be part of the Exo Ravagers for a little bit. It's always been crazy. You know, what the Dark Marauders have achieved within Elite Dangerous is so much fun. We've created the largest anarchy bubble in the history of Elite Dangerous, which was amazing considering the size of our group. And a huge shout out, as always, to Rebel and all of the BGSs that he brought, all the Italian guys that helped with the BGS. Rebel's daughter, who was our absolute and utter star when it came to BGS work. They built the largest anarchy bubble in the game, which we recently abandoned to become free roaming pirates because people used our BGS against us as a weapon. So we got fed up of being weaponized, and we took to the stars in our fleet carriers and are now free pirates, and we've given up our BGS. We're aware somebody is currently trying to take it over, and that's just really funny because we gave it up months ago now. Because Rebel went off to Kumo Crew, we lost all our BGSs, and most of the guys left were like, yeah, all the BGSs went off to do power play. Well, apart from me, because I'm a space trucker who did quite a lot of the BGS as well. But on the whole, you know, the BGS brigade that we had that was very successful and built the largest anarchy bubble in the game left us. We decided to take to the stars to become free pirates, to allow us to do our pirate protection insurance scam and have fun terrorizing the universe and just popping up in random places. And somebody, no, we're not 100% sure who, but we've got a really good idea, is currently attacking our BGS to flip Blue Pow, which is hilarious. And you know, we've given something up ages ago and somebody's still salty enough that they want to attack it. Beautiful. And we're very proud of the anarchy bubble that Rebel created, but it's not really our thing anymore. We are pirates, and that's what we do. We kidnap people, we rob people, we have fun. And I'll honestly say, if, you know, fair play, to evade a polo interdiction, you do not know how tough that is. Well done, sir. That is GG all the way right there. And escaping from polo twice from interdictions. The second time you got lucky by crashing into a planet, but to evade polo is no mean feat. I've got to say, that alone, you deserve to get back to the station. Well done. It was a great encounter for all concerned. We got the publicity we wanted. You know, nobody died apart from the wingman, and we didn't do that. So we don't know who did, but we didn't do it. So all in all, it was a great fun evening's entertainment for all concerned. The only annoying thing for me was basically if you stayed logged in, you didn't have the problem of not being able to log back in. I unfortunately went and took a break just after this happened, and then couldn't get back on my Xbox until 2 in the morning, at which point I was really tired. So that's when I captured these snippets and finally got around to watching the live stream. And I gotta say, watching it back on live stream, even though I knew what had happened from listening to it in the voice chat in our party, you know, it was even funnier seeing it played back. It was really funny seeing the reaction, the excitement, the fun, the escaping. And I've got to say, I've been disappointed to the reaction from some of the community to it. You know, I find it funny when people complain about Elite Dangerous and not having enough depth and not doing enough, when they don't take advantage or full advantage of the huge sandbox they've been given to play in. The stuff you can do in this game, the fun you can have, the absolutely crazy shenanigans you can do. Yes, there's problems with certain game mechanics from time to time. There are issues with the game. Nobody's going to deny there isn't. Currently on Xbox there's a problem with fleet carriers and system causing lag because of bandwidth restrictions on console. We think that's what's causing it. We're not 100% sure. We're not devs or technical. You know, but when you've got a sandbox like this, you can have fun, immersive gameplay. You can create your own gameplay. This sandbox built by FDev is for us to do what we want with. And if all the players got together and do more with their stuff, engage more, do more, there's so much more to the game. And look at the relief of getting back to the station. That is someone who's had an encounter with the Dark Marauders. It's the relief, and that gets your heart going, and that's the fun of it being a bit of piracy, a bit of hijacking, a little bit of robbery, a little bit of extortion, and a little bit of kidnapping. People feel relief if they get away. They feel relief when they get saved, they feel relief when they get away. And here I am, thinking about, oh, if I kill him, he spawns at the station, he's gonna run into the others. Let's yeah, let's not. So GG's to Psychotic Rob. It was a great 1v1. I had a lot of fun fighting IED while the other guys were kidnapping. And all round, thanks to everyone in the chat who showed their support for us. It was a fun, entertaining evening, and you know, I personally think FDev provide an amazing sandbox, and it's what you choose to do with it. It's how much you choose to engage with the groups, the parties, the squadrons, and have fun with people in a multiplayer environment in the greatest sandbox ever made. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching.
Look,
It was
they're
flawless.
robbing all of the commanders.